Hey, Leif.
Hey, Maarten.
Welcome back to the
Thanks, man.
Nameless Fellowship podcast.
Yeah, man.
Still nameless.
Still nameless.
And welcome back to the lovely viewers at home as well.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in again. I've picked another topic for us to start off with.
Cool.
And the topic for today is Tonewoods.
Tonewoods, okay.
And there's a lot of discussions about Tonewoods, of course. We can talk about mahogany versus rosewood or anything. But what I'm more interested in is alternatives to Tonewoods. And in this case, I've picked out two guitars, two Eastmans. One of them has mahogany.
Okay.
The other one has Sapele.
Oh, okay. And what is Sapele?
Sapele is it's often called African mahogany. So
Okay.
mahogany usually grows in South America.
Yeah.
Or in Honduras or whatever. And Sapele grows in Africa. And it's a perfect substitute for mahogany, if you ask me. But of course, the sound will differ.
Yeah.
But it's cheaper. And
Okay.
it's way more available, which I think is interesting, especially when you consider the environment.
Yeah.
And I'm mainly curious to hear your thoughts about this. Do
Okay.
you stick to specific Tonewoods yourself?
Okay, I'm really a sucker for Brazilian rosewood.
Yeah?
I own a few guitars with Brazilian rosewood fretboards,
And we're off to the races.
And yeah, there's just like an amazing feel to that wood. Like I own I think the last time we talked also a little bit about that guitar. I own a Melody Maker from '59.
Yeah.
And it's a great guitar. And the fretboard on that guitar, it feels so smooth. And it's like, there's like, the wood feels oiled, like at all times. And that's something I really dig about Brazilian rosewood. I don't own a guitar which has like a back of acoustic guitar with Brazilian rosewood, and definitely not a solid body guitar with Brazilian rosewood. But like on the fretboards, I really like it. I think it has like, it gives a little bit of chime to the sound.
Okay.
Like the good Brazilian rosewood fretboards definitely do that for me.
So it's not just about the feel.
Yeah, it's two things, like the feel and the sound. There's just something different about that Tonewood. And but I don't know, like sometimes you just get lucky with a guitar, you know?
Yeah.
So for me, like I also have like a Lion and Healy parlor guitar. It has like the Brazilian rosewood. And
Back and sides, or?
No, just the fretboard.
Oh, yeah.
And the back and sides are made of flame birchwood.
Okay, yeah.
Which is like, it's cheap wood, right?
Yeah. Oh, it's usually used for amps. For cabinets.
Yeah, but it's flame, so it looks amazing. But
Cool.
just that guitar, it sounds so good. It sounds so good. It has such a special tone and a special touch, and it's. I think some people call it like it has a loud bark. You know?
Yeah.
So it's really.
But just that it probably isn't because of the Brazilian rosewood fretboard, though.
No, but it has like. It has the feel. It has the feel, and it feels so good, and it looks so nice.
But have you ever compared it to like a Madagascar rosewood fretboard, or a Cocobolo fretboard, or even just an East Indian rosewood fretboard?
Well, you can't compare it because it's a different guitar.
Yeah,
and
fair
with
enough.
some guitars you just get lucky. So
But you must have played something with East Indian rosewood.
Yeah,
Just
of course.
Any reissue,
Yeah.
ES 335 we have.
and I own also a lot of guitars with just the cheaper rosewood, and they all can sound great as well, but it's like you have great guitars with a Brazilian rosewood fretboard, but you also have like guitars that suck with a Brazilian rosewood fretboard. I played some really nice old Strats with like the slab board.
Yeah.
And they played like ass. I don't know. They really sucked like those guitars. So yeah, it's a sum. Like if you have great specs, it all has to work together like in a in a special way. So, but there is something about those fretboards, and to me, I really like Honduras Mahogany.
Yeah.
For like the backs of acoustic guitars.
Yeah.
I also recently I bought an amazing Master Tone parlor guitar.
Oh, cool.
It's an old Gibson from the 40s, I think, and it also has like the Honduras Mahogany top, and it sounds amazing.
Nice.
It sounds so good, so smooth, and I think also my Melody Maker is made out of that wood.
Oh, probably, yeah.
Probably.
Well, it's considered the version of Mahogany now, but that was just the version they used back then.
Yeah.
Because it looked the best.
Yeah.
At least I believe that's why they chose it.
Could be. But there's like, I really like it.
Yeah.
But again, it's you can have like amazing cheaper tone woods as well.
Yeah.
Like I think the Gibson has like the Coronet or Epiphone has the Coronet reissue.
Yeah.
I recently bought one from Gibson.
Oh, nice.
Like it's just it's not a really expensive guitar. I think it's like 500 euros.
Yeah.
So it's one pickup and it's made of mahogany, probably not Honduras mahogany.
Oh wait! Oh hell no! No.
but it's a really good guitar, and the fretboard is like we have to look it up, but it's not. It's not Indian rosewood, but it's
Pau Ferro, maybe.
It's not Pau Ferro, but it's there's another alternative to Indian rosewood. But
Santos. No. I'm just guessing now.
No, but it's a different wood. But the guitar sounds great, plays great. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not gonna change out like the fretboard for Brazilian rosewood because I'm such a geek. I just like the guitar.
Yeah.
Like
exactly.
And that's my long answer to a simple question, I guess. But
it's a conversation.
It's a conversation. So
but I think it's funny what you said about the feel, though, and I'd like to elaborate a bit on that. You seriously feel a difference in a Brazilian rosewood fretboard and an East Indian.
Oh yeah. Fretboard. Yeah, it's like I think there are less grains in the wood, and in Brazilian rosewood, like do you call it grains? I don't know, like the little holes in the wood. Yeah. Indian rosewood, it has a lot of holes in the fretboard, so it feels a little bit more, especially when you have a guitar where the frets are a bit lower.
Yeah.
So when you push like the string. To play a note, you will also push a little bit into the fretboard.
Yeah.
So if you play like a bend or something, you will feel like the grains. So it has a feel.
Yeah. But then again, something to consider is, especially if you're talking about old guitars, there was way more wood available back in the day. So logically, they chose the best piece.
Yeah.
And on a newer guitar, they'd still want a rosewood fretboard.
Yeah.
Rosewood is getting pretty scarce nowadays.
Yeah.
Well, Indian is okay, but it's rough.
Yeah.
But the pieces aren't as nice.
Yeah, but just buy a vintage guitar, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just you can buy great vintage guitars for like if you would consider like the sum of like how much a Brazilian rosewood fretboard would cost and Honduras mahogany backs for an acoustic guitar, for example, you can find like amazing Regals and Lion and Healy parlor guitars.
Yeah.
With like amazing tone wood, and it would cost you like €1,000 or dollars.
Yeah.
If you're lucky.
Yeah.
And it's I kind of like that, like to find the cheaper guitars that just sound great, have great tone wood and just have their own little voice. And that's especially with my Lion and Healy parlor guitar. It has like the birchwood backs.
Yeah.
It sounds like I don't have a guitar that sounds like that. Like it's the only guitar in the world that sounds like that, you know?
Yeah.
And that's like so cool. That's amazing. To me, that's magic.
Yeah.
And if you have like if you buy a new guitar with like those specs, will sound like a new guitar, and it will sound more perfect probably because we are a lot further in history.
Yeah.
Like we know how you can properly build a really good guitar and with nice X bracing and stuff like that. And I think that guitar is leather braced, but it has
Probably, yeah.
It's leather braced, but it's also has it's not straight leather braced, so it's a little bit how do you call it, like
Concaved.
yeah, but the braces aren't straight. Like you have a straight brace and then you have a brace that's more that's a little bit slanted.
Yeah.
And then you have a straight brace again. So I don't know. I never seen it on a guitar before, but it's amazing.
Yeah,
it sounds so good, and probably they wouldn't build a guitar like that anymore. So that's also like a little bit
really,
of no. So it's a little bit.
But at one point, that was a brand new, probably pretty cheap instrument. Probably on the lower end of the spectrum.
Yes. That guitar is a Columbus Parlor, I think it's called, and it's one of the cheaper guitars. But it's so good. It smells good. It doesn't smell. It smells awful, but it smells good. It smells awfully good. I don't know. It just stinks in the good way.
Yeah.
So, and that's like that's. Yeah, I just have a passion for like the good Tonewoods on like these weird old guitars that are per se Gibsons or like the most expensive guitars, you know.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah, that's what I really love, and where that's like I have a lot of passion for those Tonewoods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then again, birchwood is a pretty rough Tonewood to be working with. And do you think, because that was at one point a new guitar, if you have something like Sapele, like on the Eastman, in 80 years, would this be one of those guitars you would go back to? You'd be like, oh, it's cheap now, but it's old, it's dried out, it's good?
I don't know.
Or would you stick with the old stuff? The old stuff that's old now already?
I don't know. I think, I don't know for myself, but...
At some point, those guitars will all be gone.
Yes.
Like, a couple of them will be worth saving, like the 335 over there.
Yeah.
And people will probably save them because they're worth a lot of money. But like the Birchwood Parlor you have, I think we're lucky it's still around.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I don't know if I have an answer for it because
that's okay.
Maybe in 40 years I will be a lazy old guitar player who just owns like one PRS guitar and just plays all sessions in my home studio. And
like Tim Pierce.
Like Tim Pierce. Yeah, like that's maybe I'm like that, but I don't know yet. So
yeah, of course.
Because but I think I will still have a passion for those guitars, but I wouldn't rule it out. Like maybe the Eastman can. Maybe I will buy an Eastman today, and I will play it for 40 years, and I will definitely love it more after 40 years because the wood is dried out. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
You never know.
But I have like I was watching a few months ago. I was watching like a video of James Taylor where he was showing all his guitars, and I think one of the best acoustic sounds in history is like the James Taylor video from the BBC from 1970, I think, and he plays just by himself with a cheap little mic, I think, is in front of him with like with I don't know, it's just a weird little mic, and it sounds so good, and it sounds boomy. It sounds like it has a lot of oomph in the sound, and it's so nice. And it's an old J50.
Oh yeah,
really great sound. And that was the whole reason why I also wanted a J50 myself.
Yeah,
and he was talking about like his old guitars, and I think he plays on Olsen guitars.
I'm not sure.
I think it's Olsen, but like really nice high-end Cocobolo guitars, and it sounds amazing because it's James Taylor.
Yeah, of course.
It's like James Taylor is amazing. One of the best acoustic players, in my opinion. But especially the old stuff, it was recorded on that J50 guitar, and also you can also hear it on Fire and Rain, and you can hear it on all the old recordings. And I think he said in the interview he was picking out like he showed like the old J50 where he played all those great songs on back in the day, and he showed the guitar and he says like, yeah, this is like, I played it a lot, and yeah, but it's like with old guitars, they don't have like the same quality after a while. They're worn out. So that's like a weird topic, right? That's like, he says like the guitar's worn out after a while.
Yeah. Like the sound
and
less, or it isn't as good as it was?
Yeah, I think he meant that. So, but I don't agree, you know?
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, I don't agree, but I was like, give it to me, that guitar, you know? But he was like that. So
that's funny.
That's funny, yeah, right?
Would it be more of a mental thing for him? Like, all the songs that are in this guitar have already been written by me?
Could be.
Or was he really referring to the sound?
I think it also has something to do with, like, he started playing music in the 60s. And then he went into the 70s and the 80s, and, like, the gear also changed.
Yeah.
So he was also probably like, oh, let's go with the new stuff.
Yeah.
And I think that's something, if you are a vintage lover right now, you can't imagine how it would have been back in the day.
Yeah.
So
yeah, at some point, like a 59 Burst in 69 was just a 10-year-old guitar.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's the weird thing for me about this market, is it's just so steeped in traditionalism.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what I think is weird about the Tonewoods as well. I heard this great quote from Scott Paul. He's the sustainability director at Taylor Guitars.
Okay.
Really cool, crazy guy.
Cool.
And he said, if you look at the world of violins, everybody looks at Stradivarius.
Yeah.
That's the most important violin ever made. It was made with maple and spruce. Is that correct? Yeah, maple and spruce.
I don't know. I don't know, but okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And it's of course it's Italian spruce.
Yeah.
It's spruce from the Alps.
Okay.
Now we're like 150 years later.
Yeah.
We're still building these violins with maple and spruce.
Yeah.
Which seems logical because, sure, those instruments he made sound really good, right? That's how a violin should sound.
Yeah.
And Scott told us, he said, well, the reason he used those woods is because he lived in the Alps and he just stepped out his door and that's what grew there.
Yeah,
It could have been two totally different things.
Yeah.
And we're holding on to it like it's some sort of holy thing.
Yeah. But it was just available.
Yeah, it was just and it was close by.
And that's the same with Brazilian rosewood. It was closer to the USA.
Yeah, exactly.
To get the rosewood from down south.
Yeah.
Than to get it like from the other side of the ocean.
Yeah, and even in the Amazon, you'll have 1,200 different species of rosewood.
Yeah.
Brazilian just looked the best.
Yeah.
Like if you go to old Dutch houses from the 70s or even early from the 60s, you'll have doors of Brazilian rosewood. You'll have like have you ever been to that doesn't even matter. But there's this weird castle in Holland, and I've been there once, and there's this big table about the size of this with huge chairs as well, and it's all solid Brazilian rosewood.
Whoa.
It's crazy. But they didn't know. They just used it because it looked incredible.
Those chairs would sound
Yeah,
amazing.
if you knock on them, yeah. But it's just weird.
That's so...
because it was just available then, and now it's practically all gone for the last 40 years. To be honest.
Whoa, that's so weird.
Yeah,
that's so weird.
And we're still holding on to it like it's the best thing ever. Which might not be true.
It might not be true. I think
it probably isn't.
It's different on every guitar. Like it's like some guitars just sound amazing, and some guitars just sound like shit.
Yeah.
And that's and the Tonewood is like if you have like really bad quality maple back and sides, the fretboard won't matter. Like it will feel a little bit nice, but the guitar will sound like shit. So,
it's like 1001 different things on the guitar that'll make an impact.
Exactly.
Like maybe the luthier was a bit drunk when he made it. Maybe he was a bit hungover. He was having a bad day.
Exactly.
I mean, you can take 6 D18s here in the shop, and you'll find your favorite one. That'll be a best one for you. And it'll jump out immediately.
Yeah, exactly.
And it might be the hangover one.
It might be the hangover one, but I think like it's the to me the perfection in guitars in general is in the imperfection.
Mm-hmm.
Like there should be like a weird frequency in the guitar.
Yeah.
To make it sound special.
Yeah. So you aren't too concerned with a perfect setup either?
No. Well, I like good setup, but like especially on the guitars that I use for playing fast and playing like big bands and stuff like that. But I don't know, some guitars just need a high action because they sound best like that. And some like my Line and Healy Parlor, I don't want to change the strings on that guitar because the strings sound so great. And it's rusty and the strings are like so rusty. It's like it's so crispy, but the guitar sounds so good with it.
My or now it's mine, the Harmony.
My old guitar.
It's the exact same. I just don't change the strings on it.
It's a super nice. That guitar has like one of the best Brazilian rosewoods I've ever seen.
It looks killer.
It looks
really killer. This is defeating my whole point, but it looks great.
You own a guitar with with the best Brazilian rosewood fretboard ever.
I do.
Yeah.
And it's weird with setups as well because I remember working on an Andy Manson once. Not that it matters that it's an Andy Manson, but that's just the guitar it was.
Mm-hmm.
It sounded so good.
Yeah?
It sounded so good, but the action it wasn't terrible, but it was rough. It was rough enough that I was like, I'm going to put some work into it.
Okay.
So I made a new nut. I filed down the saddle a little bit, restringed it, adjusted the neck tension. It wasn't the same. It just wasn't the same. The sound wasn't there. But on paper, the action was perfect. That was so weird.
Yeah.
That was the first time I encountered sometimes a guitar is just perfect in the state that it's in.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the magic stuff about guitars, and that's what I like.
Yeah, but it's tough explaining that to people, especially in a store. It's really difficult because people will play a guitar and they'll like one little fret buzz somewhere up on the 16th fret on the high B. And that'll bum them out, and I get why, but you might ruin the guitar trying to fix that one small issue.
Exactly. You don't want to take it too far. Sometimes it's just in the guitar. It's just the imperfection that makes it special and makes it sing, and you have to play around it. Yeah. And that's also like the beauty of it.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of it. Well, what are we going to do with those?
Yeah, good idea.
Eastmans, because I see two beautiful guitars here.
Do you want to pick yours up?
Yeah.
I think that's the E10 you've got there. This is the E1, yeah. So this is Mahogany.
Okay.
For the rest, these guitars are basically the same. They both have thermocure tops. Both spruce tops, of course. Both scalloped X bracing, blah, 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 blah. Built by the same guys.
Okay.
Both strung with .12s.
Cool.
But it's Mahogany versus Sapele.
Okay, let's go.
Sounds nice. It sounds really like you'd expect it to sound, to be honest.
Sounds really good. Let's pick the other one.
Yeah.
Are you going to play it?
I'll go for it. Yeah,
cool.
why not? Why not? We'll do the old Texas switch up in a few minutes. Did we tune these beforehand?
I don't know.
Good as well.
It's really good, yeah.
Does it have more high end than yours, or am I just fooling my ears here?
I think this one sounds a little bit more deeper. There's a little bit more
mid-focused or something.
I like it.
Sounds like my D18.
Yeah, really sounds.
It's a bummer because it's a lot cheaper than my D18.
Okay, let's switch.
Ooh,
So, right now I'm holding it's Sapele, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I think I like this one better.
I think so too. It's a bit more dynamic.
Yeah. Yeah, there's like that one sounds a little bit more deeper, the Mahogany one.
Yeah.
But I think I like this one a little bit better. There's a nice crispy high end. This one opens up a little bit more when you play it loud.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But especially in the high end.
Yeah. Can you play yours?
It's a bit more stiff.
Yeah.
I do like this though.
Yeah,
this is familiar.
Yeah. Okay. I'm wondering because I have a great D18, a Maarten. It's I think it's 11 years old or something.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds really good, and I'm wondering because that guitar is sounding so much better than when I bought it. Every year there's like a little bit more volume and a little bit more tone coming out of that guitar, and so it really ages well.
Yeah,
in a good way. And I'm wondering, like that guitar, the Mahogany one, sounds a little bit stiff right now.
Yeah, well, it probably is.
Yeah, but will it like age as nicely as like the Mahogany that is used on the Maarten D18, like mine?
Yeah.
And I'm also wondering how it will be with the Sapele one.
Yeah, well, that's the real question. Of
That's
course.
the real question, because like this guitar sounds really good. It has great high end. It opens up really nice.
This one sounds way more played in already than this one.
But maybe that guitar will sound better in 3 years.
It probably will. I mean, on paper, this should age the same as your Maarten does, I'd reckon. But of course, we just told each other there are 1,001 things on a guitar that'll make a difference. And there might be a few things on this that'll make a difference.
But that's something to add, like to this whole discussion, like the aging of guitars. That's one thing that Maarten really does well in their guitars. They age amazing.
Yeah,
I think I never heard a Maarten that ages like shit.
Yeah.
Like it's the Maarten guitars really after a few years they really sound amazing, and they will sound better every year, just a little bit. Like that's something really special. And to be honest, like with some Gibsons, I don't know, they just stay the same in a way. Or like I also owned the Eastman for a few years, and after I think 2 or 3 years, I sold it. Like it did. There was like not the guitar didn't spoke to me or started speaking to me like better in a better way or no something. I don't know if that makes sense, but
no, I get what you mean.
Yeah.
Did you play it enough though?
I played a lot. Yeah,
okay,
it was like my main acoustic guitar for a while. But the Maarten, it just every year there's just a little bit more in the guitar.
Yeah,
and I'm wondering like maybe it's like the Magic Maarten kind of thing, but
yeah, or you just got a bad Eastman.
Could be, but it was
because
it sounded good. It sounded really great actually. But like I think when you get better in music and better in playing guitar, your ear always will be a little bit ahead of you. Like you will notice different stuff in instruments and in your playing by hearing it first, and then a few years later you know how to fix it.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
So it could also be something like that. I don't know.
But the weird thing is, you say Maarten's age better than in this case an Eastman.
Yeah.
Just let's use that as a statement.
Yeah.
But you like buying old vintage guitars that nobody knows, that are cheap, but that have good dried out Tonewoods.
Yeah.
So apparently the brand doesn't really matter in
Could
that
be.
case.
Yeah, in that case, yeah.
So then I'd say, of course this will age the same as your Maarten.
Could be. Could be.
Probably will.
Yeah, but I'm just a sucker for vibe, man.
Yeah.
I just like smelly guitars.
Yeah.
And I like weird neck shapes and like extreme V shapes because they just feel weird.
You want to challenge? You want to fight the guitar a little bit?
Sometimes, yeah. I also own a great Kalamazoo guitar. The neck is so chunky, but when you pick it up, it's like I will recognize that neck shape by just feeling it without looking.
Yeah.
Like from 1,000 guitars. This is my Kalamazoo, you know. Like I will definitely pick it out, and that's something I kind of like that, man.
I get that.
Yeah.
And to round at least this part out of the podcast, Mahogany, Sapele, what's your choice?
With these guitars, these two, I will go with the Sapele one.
Yeah.
I think. And you?
Yeah, I think so too. This is just familiar to me.
Yeah.
This is familiar.
But it's
so open.
It's not so open, and yeah. There's a nice ring in it.
Yeah.
That's but maybe the listeners know how a Sapele guitar would age.
Like, let us know.
Yeah, let us know in the comments.
Know.
Like, because I don't have like experience with a Sapele guitar that's 10 years old.
Same. Yeah. Me neither.
Okay, let's move on to some playing stuff.
Yeah.
Today,
let's go.
Today, I would like to talk a little bit about about picking.
Here we go.
Yeah, here we go again. There's like a picking technique, and which is called outside picking. And outside picking, a lot of the shred guys will definitely know what outside picking means, and it's because it's used a lot in Paul Gilbert stuff and the faster guitar brands. But it's a great technique that you can also apply on acoustic playing, and it's actually when you have like 2 strings and you play a lower string with a downstroke and a higher string with an upstroke. The 2 strings will be in between your pick. So you're playing on the outside of the 2 strings. That's why it's called outside picking. So, for example, when you play like your a B string and your high E string, like this, it's already outside picking.
Yeah.
Can you play that?
Let's hope so.
Exactly. And what's interesting about this technique, you will have to make like a forearm motion. So you have to turn. It's like a combined motion of your wrist and your forearm. Yeah. Because you have to turn it.
Twisting movement.
Yeah. Because you have to make like you have to grab the string on the upstroke, and you have, and with the downstroke you will have to give it a twist downwards. So there's like this little movement happening, and it's a nice technique because you can apply it with you can play it with like just nice little like picking patterns on an acoustic guitar, and that have like a great vibe. So
why would you choose outside picking, if you would like to explain?
Yeah, it has a different sound.
Okay.
So you can also play it with hybrid picking.
Yeah.
And if I would apply hybrid picking, it sounds a little bit more. It sounds shorter, less open.
Yeah.
So it's
and if you would use your pick for both, but not use outside picking, what would be the other option be? Just downstroke both, or
you also have like the opposite of outside picking, which is very familiar. It's inside picking.
Okay.
Yeah. So then you will play like you will be inside of the 2 strings. Like you play like a on the lower string you play an upstroke.
Yeah.
And on the high string you play a downstroke, and that means you are stuck between the strings. So, but it has a slightly different sound. Inside picking, outside picking. Inside.
Yeah.
Outside. There's a little difference.
Yeah, there is.
But it's interesting because you can color a little bit with that. So what I did, I brought a little etude, and it's like it focuses on this technique. So and it's a nice little piece. And I was thinking like maybe we can practice a little bit on that together.
Yeah, let's go.
And it starts off with like this little chord shape. Yeah, and what we are going to do, so we first play like a downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, upstroke. So it's a little picking pattern, and it's constantly on the outside of the strings.
Yeah.
But it changes from like the B. So you have first your G string downstroke, B string upstroke, G string downstroke, high E string upstroke. So it changes from the G string. Oh no, the B string to the high E string.
Yeah.
Can you play that?
That's correct.
Yeah. Exactly. And now look what's happening in your wrist and in your forearm.
It doesn't feel too... Should I be... You should be doing it more.
No, you can play a little bit with that. Like you can play it a little bit more from your forearm, like holding it stiff. Yeah. But you can also use like the turning motion to make like these little movements of grabbing the string with the upstroke and just pushing it away with a downstroke.
Yeah.
That's like how I would describe it. And if we have like the first 4 bars of this piece, then sorry. So it ends with like a little lick, and it's just. Actually, this is also alternate picking, right?
Yeah.
So, but it's like a way of alternate picking.
Could you do the first one with inside picking? Could you demonstrate?
I can try. Yeah. And now play it with. Outside picking is a little bit more open.
Yeah.
I think but you can color with it. You can color with it. So that's something like it's good to be conscious about this stuff. And this is like this is this little piece you can practice it. You can practice this technique with it, and it's which is nice. Just to if you want to improve it, and just you can learn it and just play it on the couch, and that's where these little exercises are good for. So you can I think you can download it on the website from the fellowship.
You can.
So yeah, that's just a little playing tip for this week. Just be aware of it. You know what it is now.
Yeah.
So if you are for the listeners at home, just if you are if you are wondering how what outside picking is, or you want to apply it, or you want to become a little bit better in it, or you just notice you are doing it, you can focus on it and just by like just practicing it a little bit, and just being aware of it is like the biggest part of just knowing what it is, and that means you have a choice if you want to improve it or you don't want to improve it, and which can be nice. So yeah, that's my little lesson for today.
Thanks, Leif.
You have questions, Maarten?
No. Maybe you could send us home with a few bars from your etude.
Yeah, I can.
If you don't mind.
Yeah. So. That's like the first few bars, and the rest you can check out on the website of the Fellowship of Acoustics.
Yes, sir.
Cool.
It's nice when an exercise sounds good as well.
Yeah, I always try to make like a nice little exercise which also is fun to play. You can play in front of your family and be proud of it.
Or not.
Or not.
Yeah.
Just keep it for yourself.
I'll be playing it to myself.
That's good, man. All right. I think we have it for today.
Yeah. Wrapped it up. Thanks for watching, guys.
Thanks for watching.
And we'll see you at the next one.
Yeah.
I hope so, at least. Think so. Bye, Maiko.
Bye, Maiko.
Bye, Leif. Thanks, Leif.
Yo.